Hi guys, welcome back. We're going to change the name of the vlog, I suppose, to Cars and Caffeine. I'm down here today. We're down with Larry Kehoe here at Pyre Garage in New Ross, County Wexford. He has his detailing shop here, and we have a shop full of products behind us. And we've got our caffeine, we've got our detailing here. The cars are in the background. We'll get a look at them later on. And we're going to just talk about detailing, car enthusiasts, a little bit about car culture and what it means to people, and then the products and services that Larry provides here down in New Ross. Right, so Larry, so we're down here today, and a big part of, I suppose, the car scene, down with other people there with the other videos, is like, you always want your car clean, you want it shining, you want your car to be the diamond in the rough, I suppose, isn't it?
That's it.
So a big part of our world in car culture and in the car scene in Ireland is detailing, the products, the work, the effort that goes into all this. And then I suppose we came down here today to you because like you are a detailer, you know what I mean? Like, you're not this person that washes their car out the back of Tesco's for €7, like, you know what I mean? So we're down here today and we're going to talk about how the shop started off. Where did it all begin? Why did it begin? What happened, you know?
Yeah. So, I suppose it started off, it was just a hobby really. I was in a completely different career, and I just enjoyed cleaning my own car in my spare time.
Yeah.
That led to family members saying, oh, would you do mine? And one thing led to another, and it just got very busy. And it was before there was a buzz about detailing as such, you know. The detailing is a fairly recent kind of buzzword, I suppose.
Yeah, I think lockdown was a big one, wasn't it? Like, with this detailing thing, and like, it's, you look on Instagram now and you look on Facebook and like every second person is, oh, I'm a detailer, I'm a detailer, I'm a detailer.
That's it. Yeah.
I don't think everyone has the right grasp on what a detailer is, isn't it? Like,
there's even an awful lot of people who would have classed themselves as valeters, adopted the detailing name instead of the valeting name, awesome. You know, just to obviously move their own status. But it's, I tell you, look, there's an awful lot of people got into detailing or have called themselves detailers now, but it's valeting, but just a little bit more, you know, with more attention to detail on the smaller things.
Yeah, of course.
You know, so that's really it. And what it means to different people is different things. So it just depends really on how far you want to go yourself with your car. You know, a lot of people do say that they detail their own car. Yeah. And whether that's to the standard of a top pro, or whether it's just a guy out, you know, washing, detarring and throwing a coat of wax on. It doesn't really, you know, if that's what you're doing and enjoying it, you know, that's it.
So we went from, you're doing your own car, and I suppose your aunties and uncles and cousins,
that's
and
it, exactly,
all your friends' cars. And then say, if we were to put a date on when you said, no, hold on now, I love this is brilliant. What date would you put on it, say, that you kicked off?
I suppose we actually we went full time in 2009, the beginning of 2009.
Awesome.
We went full time at it, and like that, it was a dream come true. I always wanted to be my own boss, and I suppose my parents would have been self-employed as well, and I always had that. Most self-employed people would never wish that on their own kids. Everyone's the same, aren't they? It is pressure, it is stress, but you know, when you're doing something that you love doing, it's amazing. It's unbelievable. And
well, being passionate about something like means that you're actually going to be better at that job because you want to be there, isn't it?
Definitely so. Yeah.
So say then you're today in 2009, then you opened up or whatever, and then when would Pyre Garage come into fruition? Like, when did
I suppose Pyre Garage is actually only a fairly recent addition, because this is more of my kind of second coming on this. When we started in 2009, we started off with the detailing, and we moved on to we set up a shop. We were the original importers of Chemicalguys into Ireland.
Chemicalguys, I'm sure everyone out there has heard of Chemicalguys. It's one of the bigger names, and I know we're sitting here with a lot of 50 cal detailing products here as well, so I suppose we'll give a little shout out to Chemicalguys and 50 cal as well. So
so like we had some really big brands. We had Dodo Juice, we had G-Tech. We were the main importers for G-Technic in the country. We were the first ones at the time offering ceramic coatings by G-Technic. Excuse me. So that was big. It got busy. It grew very, very quickly. And in 2014, it had just literally got to a stage where it had got too big, too busy, too much to handle. And I ended up just needing a change, needing a break.
It's cool, man.
We called it a day. I went back working for a transport company. So I was the transport manager down there. So that progressed. And as the manager down there, as you can imagine, a European company, trucks all over Europe, it was stressful. It was 24/7. You know, holidays, you had the phone, nighttime, weekends. So I just wanted to get back. I was really missing the detailing side of it. So we said we're going to get back into it slowly. There was plenty of demand for the detailing side of it as well. So the product side of it, after the lessons that we learned by getting too big too quick with the previous one, I said I was going to keep it simple, just keep nice kind of 3 ranges, so entry level range, mid-range and a high-end range. And that's it, not to bombard people. There's I think at one stage in the in the old shop we had 28 different shampoos on the shelf. You know, and it's too much for people who aren't nerds, like I would probably classify myself with detailing products.
Detailing nerd,
But you know, when you want to wash your car, you know, I want a shampoo to wash the car. You don't want 28 different shampoos in front of you. And you know, what's the difference between all these? You know, you want, okay, well here's one for €8, here's one for €10, here's one for €15. Which one is best matched to my needs? And you know, we can work from that, and that's
100%. Because the detailing, the world of detailing is there. Like there is a lot of companies out there. You know what I mean? Like we're talking about some of the companies we have here behind us, and we were talking about the Chemicalguys now before as well. Like it can be overwhelming. And like for someone say that just has their car and they like their car and they like going to the car meets and stuff, like, and they're, you know what I mean, they're like, I want to wash my car and I want to shiny and stuff, like, and like they're sitting there and they're looking at these walls and walls and walls and they're like, oh my god, what am I going to do here, you know? So it is, I think, to be fair to yourself, it is a benefit that you have 3 packages and it's there, like, and people can come in and explain the packages to them. This is what this one does, that's what that one does. And then it's very simple for people to say, oh, well, yeah, you know what, we'll push it out, we'll go for the middle package. You know what I mean? And I think if you had more packages, to be like, oh, well, I'm stuck now between package 4 and 5, or I'm stuck between package 100 and 102, you know, it gets too much, and like people kind of, sometimes people could be let down because they think then they should be getting more or less, and they haven't got a standard kind of to go off.
That's it.
So if you were talking then, Larry, I'm coming down to you, Larry. I'm bringing my MX-5 down to you, okay? I know it's a hairdresser's car, so I'll have me comb and me scissors in the boot, okay?
Well, I have a Mini Cooper at the back, so
well,
I can't
we're not too bad. I'll fit in well here. So I'm coming down to you with my MX-5, Larry, right? And then you're going to have your 3 packages, right? So I'm going to come up to you and I'm going to ask you, right, Larry, package number 1. So if I was to come up, what would we get in package number 1? And at the moment, what would be an estimated price on that package?
So for, say, using the example of the Mazda, it's a good example, I suppose, because your own car, like in general, car enthusiast cars will be reasonably clean and kept to a reasonable standard. So, say the likes of the Mazda, our entry level package is what we call our cleanse and protect package. That includes, so we decontaminate, we obviously pre-wash the car, and the idea of that is to get the heavy dirt off the car so we're not dragging that around during the wash stage.
100%,
So pre-wash it first, we decontaminate it, we detar it, we obviously wash it with safe wash method, 2 buckets, wash mitts.
Cool,
no brushes or sandpaper or
down the back of Tesco's and the brush just connected to the snow foam lens, isn't it?
That's exactly
100%, so we've washed up then,
That's it. Obviously we do wheels, so the wheels are given a good decontamination and clean as well. Something that a lot of people would often leave out, we also clean the tyres with a specific tyre cleaner.
Awesome,
and while people won't really notice a clean tyre as opposed to, you know, just a normal wash tyre, but when it comes to putting tyre dressings and stuff on, it really lets that last. And that's really the benefit, I suppose, of going to the level of detail that we go to is, you know, a lot of different valeters or detailers might use similar products to what we would use for the finishing stage, but the time put in on the prep stage of, say, even the likes of this one, by decontaminating clay barn, you know, making sure there's no tar on it, that means now that the wax or the sealant or the protection layer that's on the car is going to last longer. It's going to bond to the paint, or not on top of dirt. It's going to literally sit.
Well, it's like we're talking about paint here, right? And we're talking about like when a painter is going to paint a car, like any painter or any bodywork specialist will tell you that the majority of the work is in the paint.
Yeah.
So then
Definitely.
the work that they put on, I suppose, putting the paint on the car,
Yeah.
you're doing the same process to care for the paint that's on the car.
That's
You know?
it,
And
that's
it's not like what you were saying there, that's a clean and protect package.
Yeah.
But it's not the fact that you're just cleaning the car.
Yeah.
You're trying to protect that car. Like,
Exactly,
you know what I mean?
yeah. And that's the main thing. When you, the main thing, I suppose, once you have a car cleaned and polished, even if you go for one of our higher end packages where there's, multi-stage machine polishing
Yeah.
to get your paint back perfect, unless that paint is protected when you're leaving here, the sun is going to damage, you get UV damage, or if there's bird droppings hit the paint when it's been freshly cleaned,
Of course,
and
yeah,
you're down
yeah.
to bare paint, the bird droppings are going to damage the paint. But there's so many different factors that can dull the paint on you.
Yeah.
So probably the most important thing then is the protection package, the protection side of it, I should say.
And what kind of price range are we talking then for the clean and protect and the entry level package? What kind of price? At the moment, we call it an estimated
That's
price.
it, yeah. So again, using the example of your own car, so that entry level package starts at about €150.
Yeah, awesome, no problem.
And
Yeah,
that goes up then if you had the likes of maybe a 7 Series or an Audi Q7, something like that's up to about €200.
Yeah, well, obviously the size, like I
that's
have little go-karts, you know what I mean?
That's
And
it,
then
that's
we're
it.
talking about Q7s here, which are probably one of the bigger cars on the road,
That's
you know what I
it,
mean?
yeah,
And it's going to take more effort,
Yeah.
Moving on from there then, I got it coming into it and I'm going, Jesus, you know what, I might treat the Mazda, you know what I mean, we might kind of look after it a bit more. What's the medium package that we're talking about?
So the medium package, the prep is the very same as the cleanse and protect package.
yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
we
You still to
put
get the dirt
all-
off the car.
That's it.
Yeah,
that's
yeah,
it.
100%.
Same thing with the wheels. Obviously, we prep the wheels, wheel arches, all that type of thing,
Yeah.
deep cleaned. So the main difference then between with our mid package is that we machine polish.
Yes.
So this is more what we would call a gloss enhancement detail.
Awesome, yeah, yeah.
So it's a single stage machine polish, and we get rid of the light swirl marks, light scratches, just lifts the gloss by removing that top layer of wash damage and marks and stuff
Yeah,
from the
of
paint.
course, yeah.
It just lifts the gloss. If you put LED lights on it, it probably still will be. Obviously, depending on the car, deeper marks or something won't
Yeah.
come out with this package, but the vast majority of the lighter swirl marks and stuff like that will come out.
Well, then,
And
to be fair, for the everyday kind of enthusiast, then, like this package is kind of more along the lines for them, I suppose, isn't it? Because
that would be my most popular package.
Really, yeah,
Purely because the vast majority of people, when they leave here, they're driving the car every day.
Yeah.
You're going to Tesco car park to do the shopping where there's people down the sides of your car.
oh, don't even go there, Larry.
That's it.
Yeah,
Because
100%.
when you go for, if you go for the top package, which we pretty much say, like some guys will say with their packages that they'll get rid of 90% of defects or 100%
Yeah,
or whatever.
yeah.
The way we put it is our top end, high end package, that gets rid of any blemish in the paint that's not deeper than the clear coat. We'll get rid of it out of your paint.
Really, yeah, yeah.
But, if you got that done and you went out to Tesco's and somebody even brushed off the car maybe, or, trolley scraped it, or
Yeah,
one
yeah.
of the kids at home ran a bike beside,
Yeah,
and even
In a
washing the car,
yeah.
even the simple thing of washing the car, you can damage that again.
Yeah.
So that's fine. The top package is fine for a car that is, the likes of a high-end car that comes out maybe once a week or once a month for a show or for the
Yeah.
likes of that.
Cool.
But it's not practical on a daily driver realistically, because you're going to pick up marks, you're going
Yeah.
to pick up on a
But
daily
Larry, see,
driver.
this is kind of one of the things that, like, I came down to talk to you about, and I'm glad you're being honest about it, because, like, a lot of guys, like, they get you in, they're kind of just wanting to sell, and
Yes,
make the most
yeah,
amount of
yeah.
money. And so, just come back to it. What's the price on the medium entry
The medium
package?
one, that starts at $350.
350.
So again, for a small, $340 I think for the small car,
Yeah,
and that goes up then again depending on the
yeah,
size.
of course.
Yeah.
So then, say, like, you were talking about the 340 there or whatever, right? And the high-end package, a rough price on a high-end package would be
The high end starts at 1200.
1,200. No, that's okay, that's no problem. But say, guys would think, oh, I'm going to get 1,200 off every person walking in the door here, right? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But someone that's honest, kind of, and more realistic with the thing, and tells the everyday car enthusiast, we call it, right? So we don't all have money to have two cars on the road.
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
fair enough,
That's
right?
That's it.
So you have your car, you're daily driving it, right? You're wanting to go to the show at the weekend, right? So your medium entry package here, like, is kind of I'm going to say it's nearly a bullseye as far as that kind of package would go, because you're getting that gloss, you're getting the shine back up on your car, right? You're obviously into your car, you're an enthusiast at this stage, so you're going to be able to care for the car.
Yeah.
But you're kind of given a level of care there that you wouldn't be able to do at home. These polishers, you know, they're a menace, I suppose, to some people. You know, the lack of knowledge, I suppose, is a big problem with the polishers, isn't it? Because, like, I've gone to shows myself, and it looks like a spider web that's gone across the car. You know, like, it's just the fact that it can ruin your paint. If you don't know what you're doing, there is a lot of products out there. We'll talk about compound and all now in a minute, right? But like, there's a lot of different grains of compound. There's the heads that go on the machine itself. Like, there's a lot of like kind of the thickness of it, the sponginess of it, the hardness of it. You know what I mean? There's a lot of kind of goes into this, you know. And if you don't have the knowledge, I think it is a lot better to come and talk to someone like you, to come into someone like you, and you know, get your car done. Like, you know what I mean? Because
and even the range of machines that you can get now, like you can get, you know, rotary, you can get random orbital, dual action, forced rotation. Like when I started at this, you know, the first time I held a buffer was 1999 was the first time I ever held a buffer. And it was, you know, I can guarantee you I'd have never got this belly now if I had kept using it, you know.
Trying to wheel it around the place, isn't
Jesus,
it?
And that's all you could really get at that stage, whereas now technology has moved on and there's a vast array of polishers. So, you know, whereas if you had learned how to use a polisher, you know, 20 years ago, and now you were looking at the range of polishers, it's unbelievable, the choice, and that goes for the products as well, you know.
Because like that, when you're talking about these polishers and stuff as well, I know we were chatting earlier on there about these one-day detailing courses and that. Now, we've nothing against these one-day detailing courses, right? But I think some people can get very cocky, I suppose, after getting one of these courses, and they think, oh sure, I'm a detailer now, I know what I'm doing. And a person can go out and pick up a hard compound by mistake, get a hard pad by mistake, get on the buffer, turn it up to the maximum speed there because the paint is faded. And next thing, they've done so much damage to the paint that they nearly have to get a paint job after it, isn't it?
That's it. And it's so simple to do, you know. It's I suppose one of the things I did, one of the first things I did when I was starting out, I had old scrap panels, and I remember one of the things I was really shocked about. By going close, I purposely tried to burn through the panels just to see, you know, how easy or how hard it can be to burn through the paint.
100%,
It's frightening how quick you can.
So we were talking about like cutting through paint and stuff like that, like, and like you were saying there, like, you're working on old panels, like, but these people, I suppose, that have done these courses are like, oh no, sure, I'll do it with my own car, you know, like, and next thing you know, you have a panel and you have a burn mark in it, and it's gone. Your clear coat, I suppose, from a painter or the factory is your protective layer. They've gone through this layer, and now they've burnt their paint, and now like the panel is kind of gone as such. Like, it's very, like, it's nearly impossible to fix that, like on a detailing side of a house.
Definitely, that's it. Like, it's once you can't polish paint back onto a car, you know. That's
it's like we can put the compound on the pad, but we can't put the paint on the pad. But that's understandable, you know. I think it's something out there that with COVID, okay, people have done maybe these one-day courses and stuff, but like, it does take. You can do your one-day course, okay, like anyone. If someone's trained to be a mechanic, if someone's training to be a chef, if someone's training to be anything, you do your courses and you go to college or you do whatever you have to do, right? But it is experience, time, effort, and then knowing the tolerances, I suppose. So you push the tolerance to try and burn the paint.
That's it, like, you know, having those spare panels and to push the limit of each machine to the point of no return. And it's frightening how quick you can get to that point.
On the day of these detailing courses, like, you know, like the people providing the course have their machines, they have their polishes and whatever that are there, right? But when you go home, like, you have a different machine, and like that machine might not work necessarily the same as a normal machine, isn't it?
Definitely so,
So it is like people like yourself, Larry, like the information, I suppose, and experience more than anything is invaluable, like, you know what I mean? So like, I would say to anyone that's there, like, I'm sure Larry wouldn't mind throwing him on the spot here, but get in contact with him, you know what I mean? We'll drop a link in the description and the video as well, or hit him up on Instagram or Facebook as well, and you know, just ask you a question, maybe come in, get your car done here, you know what I mean? And then just see, well, look, this is what Larry provides, this is the service, you know, like, and this is how we go on. The last one, I suppose, as far as detailing goes, I want to ask you, the buzzword, okay?
Oh, yes.
Ceramic coating.
Ceramic coating,
Okay?
yeah.
So, a big thing in the world at the moment, right, is ceramic coating, okay? As far as I'll play the dummy on this one, as I go, okay, you've got companies like Maguire's, you've got Auto Finesse, you've got a lot of companies out there at the moment that are, I think, Auto Reflector, and people are doing it as well, that have like a spray bottle, say, like that, you're just a ceramic detailer. Look, I used one to try it. I didn't put it on the Mazda now. I put it on the daily beater, I suppose you could call it, the van. And it does, it beads up the car, you know what I mean? It does kind of work, okay? But that'd be, we'll call it the entry level in my eyes, okay? I've had guys talking about like a painter basically spraying on a car.
Right.
I don't know where that comes from, okay? But like I've heard of it, okay? And then we've got kind of the one that I have both seen, heard and researched the most about is kind of, I know you're providing the service here, but it comes, I'm going to say, it's a bottle like it's like
That's
this size.
it.
And then like it's applied to the surface of the car, okay? The understanding, I suppose, that I've got of it so far as well is that you've got your paint layer on your car, then you've got your lacquer, I suppose, that's on top of your car, and then this ceramic coating then that you're putting on top is kind of like an extra layer that you're putting on it. And the only downside, I suppose, that I have seen from it so far is that, unlike lacquer, this is like a much more permanent kind of a thing on your car, like, and it's like you're putting porcelain nearly on your car. You're putting a very hard,
it's very that's the
thick layer on your car. As far as you then as a detailer goes, Larry, right? So I've kind of done my research from, we call it a civvy side of the house. As far as your side of the house and detailing and how detailing has progressed to get to this ceramic coating, we call it, right? What's your views and points on ceramic coating that you kind of like to get across?
Yes.
Or that you've experienced so far? What have you seen from it?
I suppose like it's like the rest of the industry. The ceramic has grown a huge amount in the last kind of 10, 12 years.
Yep.
I first applied ceramic in 2010, and the difference in the product now compared to then is it's unbelievable, the difference. You know, it has come on, and the growth has been kind of steady all along. But the last kind of 12 to 18 months has been huge leaps made in it.
A lot of big companies now are throwing out ceramic.
Definitely,
From
and
ceramic clay barn, ceramic detailers, like specific ceramics. I know often they do a box and you get like wipes and stuff. Like so, these big names, like I suppose a lot of advertising now, like it's getting out there, and people are kind of, I suppose, in Ireland, I suppose anyway, like it's kind of like still very new and people don't really know enough about it as such.
And there's an awful lot of, I won't say misinformation, but an awful lot of people who don't understand it are, pushing products that aren't really, like what you were talking about, your ceramic quick detailers.
Yeah.
I know a couple of guys who are applying them to customers' cars and calling it a coating. And like those coatings, the water, like you said earlier on, the water will bead off the car and it will put a shine on the car for a little while, but those are going to last for a month, 2, maybe 3 months max, and then they're gone.
So it's okay, like if you understand that it is only going to be there for a few months.
That's
like,
it for the quick detailers.
Fair enough. But then if we're coming back to the product and the service that you're providing here, I know the answer to this. What is the longevity, I suppose, big word I suppose for me trying to get out of my mouth, but what's the longevity of the ceramic that you're applying to cars here?
The one that we have, the actual company Titan Coatings, we're accredited with Titan and with CarPro. Our most popular one would be the one from Titan. The main coating that we would use from them is called Titan Vulcan. That one, they actually list that as being a permanent coating.
A lifetime coating, like.
That's it, yeah. Now we don't tell our customers it's permanent. I'd always kind of push that as a 5+ year. And just purely because...
Be safe, isn't it? Like, you're being honest with them, like, you know what I mean?
I haven't seen it beyond 5 years or 10 years, so it's hard to kind of get behind a permanent coating like that. But from anything I've seen of it, and some of the chemicals, I have a couple of panels done with it. I've thrown chemicals from acids to, I've literally thrown anything I can find to throw at it to try and degrade the coating. I've tried and it's still holding strong. And you've even got, say, the likes of the coatings now, some of the more modern coatings, they've got self-healing abilities in them as well. So even if you pick up light swirl marks from washing the car, you know, you can put a heat gun over them and it'll level them back out again. Technology is moving very fast with it. The proper coatings, the accredited coatings, are a lot more expensive, obviously, than your quick and easy.
Yeah, but they are, like, they're claiming lifetime, we'll call it, okay?
That's
I know you're saying 5 years, okay? But, like, if you're putting a product like that in your car, like say, go and get your car resprayed, like, you're paying top dollar to get it done.
Yeah.
But, like, you have to remember, like, some of us are driving vintage and classic cars here, right? And they have paint on them that was put on them 30 years ago. And they're still 100%. Shining, like, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, like, if you're putting something on your car that's going to last 30 years, you know what I mean? Like, if you do it once, do it right, kind of a thing,
that's
isn't it?
That's it, yeah.
So, if I was to come down, back with my Mazda, I suppose, right? And I was wanting to get it ceramic coat, obviously, right? I'm sure everyone would understand that when you're putting this coating on, you want to get rid of everything underneath, okay? So, you want your paintwork to be almost as good as if it came out of a spray boot, like, you know what I mean? So, you'd be looking at getting the 1,200 kind of, or 1,400 euro package off of you before you apply this coating, wouldn't you?
That's it. Or I suppose it depends on the condition of the paint. Like that, we can pretty much, if some cars, the likes of Japanese cars in general, will have softer paint, and you can be surprised. Like sometimes a single stage machine polish can get a car damn close to right.
Well, that's even better then, isn't it, for someone? Because then rather than getting the top package off of you, they might only have to get the medium package. It's just kind of on the day kind of a thing, I suppose. You just have to assess what they have, isn't it?
That's it.
Yeah,
and we then, once we have the paint to an acceptable standard, then you put the coating on the car. Then it's a time-consuming, kind of tedious process using the ceramic coatings, but you know the finish that it gives is durable. It's extremely hard. The car won't get as dirty, dirt won't stick to it as much. It'll be far easier, say, this time of year, the bugs and stuff like that.
Pollen even off the trees and stuff, isn't it? You get very sticky and stuff on your car, isn't it?
Very hard to remove. So that doesn't stick to your paint, it's not bonding to your paint now, it's literally just on the outside of the coating, so that cleans off a lot easier. So it makes the car maintenance, say, of the car an awful lot easier. Reduces the amount of light scratching and wash marks and like the likes of that from the paint because of the hardness of the coating. So it just makes life that bit easier.
If you're talking about a price though, say, for this, to get it ceramic coated, if you came in and your paint was perfect, right? To put that coating on the car, what price range estimated at the moment? What would it be?
We have two different options. So we have the Car Pro Professional, which we're accredited to apply. That would be our entry level ceramic coating. So that's kind of a 2 to 3 year coating. So that one we're looking, depending on which package you're getting, the ceramic coat on top of that then would be about an extra 250.
That's not the end of the world though.
No, that's it.
That's very reasonable, like,
That's it.
And if you're going then to Titan, then
the Titan one, then you'd be looking more up around 400.
400. But still, look, you're getting, as you're obviously accredited with Titan because you're a professional that's applying a professional product here. Okay, it's not like the guys, you know, down the back of their mammy's house that are going to put it on for you know.
That's it.
Like you're paying that money, but like that, like you're getting a top-notch level of service. Like, you know what I mean? So it is going to be worth it.
That's it.
Now,
I suppose it's one thing I think it's important to get across with ceramic coatings is that they're not for everybody. There is a huge buzz about them at the minute. With regard to it's almost the in thing to make, you know, if your car is not ceramic coated, are you a real car head? You know, it's
100%.
There's a serious buzz. But I think it's important that people do realise that it is not for everybody. You know, if you enjoy polishing, waxing, you know, if you're out with your car, spend a couple of hours every weekend or every second weekend polishing and waxing and topping up the coating on your car or the wax on your car, ceramic is pointless for you because there is no need to polish and wax the car after it.
People are not given this information now, you know what I mean? Like, and back to the honesty kind of profile that I was giving earlier on about you and your services, like I suppose you're telling people that ceramic is not for you, like that's kind of turning down business. But like I think people will trust you more so, like, because like I know like a lot of us like that getting ready to go to a show like the day beforehand, like the Saturday before you go to a show is like car clean day. You know what I mean? And you're going to be taking the wheels off your car nearly. You know what I mean? You're going to be cleaning and polishing, waxing. You're going to be doing everything you can. But like that, when you have your ceramic, like that's out the window, isn't it? Like
That's it, yeah. If you like a good wash and dry on the car, and it's you know, once you have that dry, it should bring it back the very same way it left here. You know,
Yeah.
it's obviously you will still pick up tar, so you'll have a certain amount of maintenance on it.
yeah.
But yeah, it's you know, for the likes of that, it's everything else. It takes away the need for polishing, for waxing, for
You're nearly the opposite then, isn't it? You're saying that the ceramic is for the car guys, isn't it? But then, like, if you're a car guy, that Saturday before the show is kind of like your day to clean and the polish and stuff. Now, tell me this, Larry. The one I have to ask you as well is, right, we see the big company often is, okay, they do a package there. They have interior ceramic, right? They have wheel ceramic. They have fucking body ceramic. They have all these ceramics, alright?
Yeah.
Ceramic coating from your perspective in here, okay? Is it for all items of the car? Is it for just paint? Is it for just wheel? Where do you stop with the product, like, or do you use it on everything as well?
I suppose I use it primarily on paint and wheels. I think that's the two areas that it's a huge benefit on.
Yeah.
I haven't been a fan of it on glass.
Yeah.
Well, I won't say glass. It can be a benefit on glass, but windscreens, I found it not to be. And it's a personal choice, I suppose. I generally don't like it on a windscreen.
That's fair. Yeah.
The likes of interiors and stuff, again, it can be a benefit on interiors. I'm not a fan of it on leather, but on fabric, it can be very, very good.
Yeah.
But it's not something, and I think it's I'm not sure really what it says about the market, but I would do maybe one in every 10 cars that comes in for a ceramic coating, the customer would actually ask to have the interior coated as well.
Really, yeah.
So the likes of fabrics and stuff like that. Like I've done various demonstrations to show people the benefit, I suppose, of the interior. I had a seat, and we used to have a spare seat out.
Yes, yeah, of course, yeah.
That was coated. It was out of an old BMW, and it was that kind of Alcantara finish on it.
Yes, yeah.
And you know, I was able to spill, you know,
And just
monster onto the seat,
come
and
off
it just
it, like,
runs
yeah.
clean off of it. You know.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
It definitely has
Has
you
a
know,
place
has
there.
a place, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But I suppose a lot of people, there are certain products that came out that said they did that and they didn't. You know, there was a couple of poor products came out that, and that kind of turns people off. You know, when you do.
But it's like that. Just do a bit of research, like, you
Yeah,
know,
and that's it.
find a guy like that kind of knows what he's talking about and stuff, and like that. The experience, like, that you were able to put that on a seat, like, and see it, like, you know, and I think it means a lot that we go to car shows, right? We look at cars and you're talking to car people about stuff, and you're kind of like, how did you do that? Like, and that's how you learn, I suppose. Like, sometimes being kind of cocky, like, you know, it doesn't pay off in the long run, you know what I mean? So, like, a lot of people in the car or community, we'll call it, like, it is a bigger family, I suppose we could call it, that you're getting information off one another.
That's
and
it.
this thing of going to cars and seeing secrets, I suppose, is a big thing with people.
That's it.
Like,
that's
it's not, it shouldn't be a thing. And I think if you have seen secrets, like, kind of grip yourself a little bit, like, you know what I mean? Because we're all in this together, kind of thing, isn't it? Like, and to learn from one another and, you know, to move forward, like, you know.
But the last thing I'd like, you know, if you use your Mazda, if you come down to me and I say, no, what you need on that is ceramic, you know, we'll ceramic that and we'll ceramic everything on it.
Yeah.
And then, you know, you come back in 6 months' time and you kind of go, Jesus, you know, I'm bored on my weekends, I've nothing to do.
Yeah,
you know,
yeah,
you said this was going to be the best thing ever, and I've
Yeah.
nothing to do. You know, you'll be like, geez, Larry, he charged me a fortune and I didn't really need it.
Yeah.
You know, and then that affects me then, obviously, you know. So if you're honest with someone, like, it's
Pays off in the long run, doesn't
definitely so, yeah. Like, there's so many good products. I would be known, and I'd be known as a little bit of a dinosaur, I suppose, from been
around so long.
And I'm a big fan of wax. I love a good Carnauba wax on a car. I love the gloss and the shine, and I often say to people, if a car drove by the road out here, I could pick out if there was one drove by that was waxed with a good wax rather than a ceramic. I just love the finish. I think it's a different finish.
Yeah, but everyone has their own as well when it comes to waxes. Look, personally for me, okay, it mightn't be something that everyone agrees with, but Navi wax is one for me. And I've used them, like, for years, and, like, I've gone to, you can get my Instagram there, like, you know, and see it, but, like, I went up to JPCCNI and, like, underneath the lights, like I did Naviwax, and people are coming up to me like, I've never painted my car, I haven't got the money to paint the car. And people are like, oh, how much did it cost you to paint the car? I was like, I didn't, like, you know what I mean? So like that, good care, good maintenance, good protection, a good wax, like, you know, it can make the difference, like, and 100%. Kind of bring that paint back to life, you know. So maybe the trends are not always the way to go.
That's
you know
it,
what I mean?
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
and that's why they are trends. Maybe in 5 years' time we'll be back here doing another interview with you, and we won't be talking about ceramic coating, like we could be talking about something else, you know. So that's just kind of the way that every scene, every kind of, no matter what you're into, there's always going to be trends, isn't there? Like, and
Definitely,
some trends stick, some trends don't stick, and that's just the way it's going to be, isn't it?
It.